Okay, so also, y'all, I watched back. I always forget there's like it like inverts like the camera, and I was like, wow. I thought I was like kind of pretty until I saw myself talking with the inverted camera, and like I feel like my jaw is crooked. I don't know. And then I tried to post on the team page, and that was like what it made, like the cover of it, and I was like, we can not be doing that. I'm not posting that on there, but it's fine. Anyway, tonight what we're going to talk about and do, I wanted this last week, normally on a power hour, we would just like straight like work the whole time, and we're going to do that too. But I also want to do just like some trainings because like I talked about yesterday, we're doing this like momentum mindset and just kind of like having a reset in our businesses, kind of being honest with ourselves and asking questions of like, how are we showing up daily? Are we running or firing up those 4 engines of momentum that we talked about last night, every single day, and just really moving the needle in our business? And so in order to do that though, it does take, the knowledge and then applying it. And so that's this week, the power hours. The nighttime ones are pretty much they're going to have more training than one would normally have. So it's kind of what we're getting into. And tonight I'm going to touch on what I actually talked about with Madison and Kennedy earlier on the one this afternoon. And here's Madison now. Let me add her on here. But what we're going to do is we're just kind of calling this, and Madison, I'm going to talk about kind of what we talked about earlier today, but get a little bit more in depth into it. It's a lot of alliteration. So hear me out. This is going to be our post like a pro pink purpose posting strategy. I was like cracking up in the car. I'm like, I cannot tell them that. But that's what it is. So this is how we are all going to post like pros. And this is pretty much like Facebook specific, because on Instagram it's a whole different world, what you post on there, to be honest. But hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm going to have someone on our team call on Monday that's really good at Instagram, get on and talk. And so we'll dive more into that as time goes on. But this is kind of more Facebook specific. So before I even dive in, if you have not already put a post up on Facebook tonight, you can work on that while we're on here. I know I have not put up my post for tonight yet, but I'll do that after, and hopefully some late night owls will see it and it'll be fine. But first things first is posting twice a day. So I know a lot of times we hear like, don't post so many times a day because your posts will compete against each other or people won't see it. And while that can be true, Brock Johnson is like huge social media expert. And he's like, what is the downfall of your posts competing against each other? Because doesn't that mean you still win? Like if they're both your own post and people are seeing them. So at the end of the day, someone is bound to see one of them or both of them or whatever it is. And as you consistently engage with others on others' posts and stories, the algorithm is going to boost you up and you will be seen more anyway. So what I've been testing is like the past week or so, I've been doing one personal post a day and then one plexus post a day, which can get to be a lot. So you don't always have to do that, but it kind of keeps a good balance of having a mix of just personal life, plexus mixed in, stuff like that. And so the key with that is going to be when you do those personal posts, or with personal posts under that could include just you posting that like a random question to get interaction or something, but you're going to want your personal post to be something that's like relatable or that's going to get interaction to keep you on people's feeds and boost you in the algorithm. So you always will you can have a personal post any day. And also with this, you don't want to be sharing a lot of posts. I think that's what people normally mean when they say don't post all these times in a day, is because it's so easy. Like I used to share like literally you all like 10 recipes in a row on Facebook. I've never made any of them. Actually, I made this birthday cake fudge one time and it was horrendous. So I never made any of the others, but that does nothing for people. Like they may have entertainment from it, but like that is not my job to provide them with these recipes that I've never even made. You can just save those and like not post it to your feed. And so that's kind of the thing with that, is just don't post like random things or share everything all the time, but one personal post, and then you're going to have a plexus post, obviously. So the way that's going to make this unique and what's going to make it help your business, and we talked about this earlier, but this is going to be like our in-depth training on posting like a pro, is every week we have 7 days and we're going to section it off into 3 parts. And so it's going to be 3 days here, 3 days there, and then you have 1 extra day to do as you'd like with it. But each section of 3 days, you're going to pick 1 topic. And so I know like Madison, hers is anxiety. So yesterday she made a post that had it was like fact, caffeine causes more anxiety. And then it kind of showed more about that. It wasn't too long. And then it said kind of how Slim combats that, or is kind of a solution to that. And then today she put a testimony that is about anxiety. And then tomorrow can be a different way to approach anxiety. So it's just, the reason this is important is because different variations of the same thing is going to help people find a way. Let me think that's not how I want to word it. The reason this is important is because people are going to be attracted to different things. So maybe someone saw the post that's just about like the fact and anxiety and was like, oh, that's cool. That helps with anxiety. I don't know for sure. But then they see the testimony and that actually stands out to them. And they're like, oh, that helped a real person. Or, oh, I relate to this line in that post. I wonder if this could help me. Whereas maybe the other posts didn't catch their eye as much, or maybe they didn't even see it because it wasn't even on their feed. So it's going to be about repetition of the same idea, the same thing that is related to plexus, but here's Piper, but shown in different ways. She wants to be a part of the call. Come here if you're coming. We got to tell them about plexus, Piper. Piper is a plexus Piper corgi. She's smiling, yay. So that's why it's going to be important, is so different people see different posts, and also different people connect to different things. And so we want to do different stuff for that in conclusion. With that though, that's pretty much all it is you're going to pick something for 3-day categories. But in order for this to be successful, you're probably going to want to do it like a chunk in advance. So what we did earlier is we took time, the ones of us that were on the call, to say like, okay, yesterday I posted about cravings. And so I know that that's going to be my thing for 3 days. So then today I made a post how to just mentioned cravings. And then tomorrow I think I'm going to put, what is she doing? Chewing a water bottle. I'm going to put like a 1-liner post, so a different way to address it. I don't know if our box of cookies is still downstairs, but I was going to like take a photo of our like insomnia cookies box and be just like a 1-line, like walked past this box of cookies and wasn't even tempted to have one. And then just like a hashtag of like plexus kicked my cravings or something. So it's not like directly about plexus, but just something to hint at that. And so it's a different way to talk about it. With that, we're not going to do this until this month is over, but like August 1st is a Sunday. And so on that Sunday, I'm going to do a little like giveaway type thing and give y'all some homework to look at your August calendar at a glance and go ahead and write in like, these 3 days I'm doing this, these 3 days I'm doing that. Now, each week at a time, you can figure out the actual post, because that would take forever to do all of them like in one day. But like a week at a time, you could figure out the posts for those things. That way, posting doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be something that you think forever about. It's something of, you pick the topic of weight loss for 3 days. You come up with your own post. You look in the posting ideas on the Wellness Tribe and get ideas from there and find a testimony from the Wellness Lounge. And that way you just address that thing in 3 ways. And it doesn't have to be weird. So that was a little mini training for our, oh my gosh, Piper, for our post like a pro pink purpose posting strategies. So hopefully that's helpful, and it'll just give us some direction in how to post and just kind of simplify it. I know at first it'll be something to think about, but then once you know what you're talking about every 3 days, it's going to be way more simplified, and you just know like, oh, I just need 3 posts about this, and it's going to help people see it more, relate to it more. And the more times they have their eyes on it, the more they're going to become aware of it, interested in it and then either want to buy it or not. And so, yeah, from there, we have a few more minutes. So what we were going to do, one second. I'm actually going to turn this off since we already did the little training part. So peace out to anyone that watches the recording.